What's up, YouTube? Shawn DaGamer here, and this initially was going to be a Raw recap video, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about Raw. The most interesting tonight on Raw was the fact that Enzo finally got his one-uppings for, talking about Lana all these couple of weeks. And I just feel like that is so vindicated because that is so logical that she would set him up. You gotta think about all the shit that Lana and Rusev have been through the past couple of months. First, Rusev lost the United States title to Roman Reigns. We'll talk about that in a minute, literally. Then Lana was embarrassed after her wedding by Roman Reigns. Then, lost the belt and all that stuff. And now you got Enzo and Cass talking about some how you doing to Lana. Oh, no, you don't do that. So that was the most interesting thing on Raw, was watching. Lana, be still my beating heart. Oh, Lana. It's just something about that woman. It's just something about that woman that'll make. Anyways, but it just makes sense. Rusev and Lana are supposed to be the bad guys, but then you got Roman Reigns talking about how Lana did this and that or wants to do this and that, and you got Enzo pretty much quote unquote showing her his penis and things like that on live TV, and it's disrespectful. And their faces, it's the faces disrespecting the heels. And then I feel like Rusev and Lana were so right and vindicated in what they did to Enzo and Cass, or what they're going to do to Cass. And it just makes sense. But everything else on Raw doesn't. That's the only one logic. That's what I said in the video, in my Raw pre-show video. I said nothing on Raw is logical. Nothing on Raw is logical. But yeah, if you want to know more of my thoughts on Raw, go watch JD from New York's video. JD from New York is my spirit animal. And everything I want to say about Raw, but I'm not that type of person to just down it like that. So go watch JD from New York 206. He should be linked in the description down below. But let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this video. Is Asuka, my baby Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, the most valuable superstar / champion under the WWE umbrella as of December 2016? And we can go through all the champions. Let's first talk about the rise of my princess, my queen, my empress, Asuka. I couldn't find my Asuka shirt, but I gotta get that white one. That white one is so sexy. But I'm gonna get that one. Anyways, she came in undefeated. Well, she came in, this hot new talent, this hot wrestler who was working the indies and Shimmer and Japan and all that good stuff. I'm like, okay, I like her look, I like her hair, she's cute. Can she go in the ring? And you know what she does in the ring? The first thing she does is kill Dana Brooke. The first thing she does is kill Dana Brooke. The second thing she does is go in and have a great match with Emma. Then she goes in and has great matches with Bayley. And then wins the title. Undefeated. She's still undefeated till this day. So Asuka's been with the company for over a year now. Undefeated with the belt. And she's had the belt since WrestleMania weekend. Now, let's look at all the other champions. And she defends the belt every time she gets a chance. She defended on TV. She defends on house shows. She defends on the takeover shows. Nia Jax, Emma, like I said, Nia Jax, Bayley got her rematch. Who else? Alexa Bliss had a shot. Who else had a shot? I said Nia Jax. Even Liv Morgan and everybody. Thea Trinidad came in. Even Mickie James. They had to go get a legend. And we'll talk about legends too. Probably in another video. Like, I want to do a video called Superstars That I Actually Miss Now. Like, I was just thinking, damn, I miss Michelle McCool and Layla L. Damn, I miss AJ Lee. Damn, I miss Paul London. Even though he's like in Lucha Underground doing that whole White Rabbit gimmick. Anyways. Now let's go look at all the other champions in our WWE roster right now. Let's start with Charlotte and Sasha, because they're sharing that belt right now. Charlotte and Sasha. came in last year because of the Divas Revolution, which turned into the women's division. Charlotte beat Nikki Bella, and then ever since that has happened, she won the belt. She won the new belt at WrestleMania this year, like Asuka, and ever since then, she's lost it twice and became a 3-time champion along with Sasha Banks. And that's why I'm getting confused yesterday. I'm like, is Charlotte a 2-time champion or a 3-time champion now? Because they switched the damn belt so much. It's confusing. So, as much as I love Charlotte and Sasha Banks, okay, AJ Lee is my Sasha Banks. So I get what you guys are saying now. So, but in this time, they made Sasha Banks a transitional champion, and they've made Charlotte kind of a whiny heel when she loses. And I don't like that on either of them. Charlotte should have been dominant this whole time. You could have had all these matches and kept the belt on Charlotte. You didn't have to have 2 or 3 title changes. Charlotte could be a 2-time champion right now, and Sasha could have had that 1 win on Raw, and that could have been fine. And that could have been so fine, and they could have been feuding for a couple of months after that, and then they could have switched it up. But they didn't do that. So, no, they're not valued at all. I don't even, whatever. And then let's go to the United States Championship. I already told you what happened with that. Who had it? Kalisto had it. Which, why did he have it? We was all wondering why he had it. And then, who else had it? I think it was Rusev, Kalisto, Rusev, Reigns now, right? Because Reigns has it now, and because Rusev was just killing everybody who wanted the belt, and then Reigns came along, and whatever, we're not gonna talk about that. But Reigns has the belt now. What has Reigns done with the belt other than his match with Jericho last night? And I was praying to God that that Jericho would win, but he almost won, and then shenanigans happened. So we're not gonna talk about that. And then let's go on to the Intercontinental belt, the IC belt. I can't complain about the IC belt at this moment because I love everything that The Miz and Dolph Ziggler have done with that belt to bring a little bit more prestige back to that belt. Only thing I didn't really like was a couple of weeks ago when they had those 2 quick title changes when Ziggler beat The Miz for it to get his career back, which should have ended it right there. But of course, Miz had his rematch and then he got it back and then all that stuff. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm content with the IC title picture right now because it had to go through a little bit of funky times, and they even talked about the little funky times too with Daniel Bryan winning it, losing it, and all the transitions right there. So I can't really be too upset with the IC title. And let's go on with the tag team division. Oh Lord. Let's go on with the tag team division. On Raw, you have the New Day just beating everybody to beat. Let's be honest. If Demolition was not in this lawsuit with WWE, I believe the New Day would have lost those belts to the club a long time ago. I believe they would have lost those belts to the club, or even the Usos. They would have lost those belts to the Usos or the club a long time ago if it wasn't for that lawsuit with Demolition. So they're going to break the record, and then after that, maybe Cesaro and Sheamus are going to get it. But it was a time period where they didn't really have challengers, where it really was just the New Day versus the Usos, the New Day versus the Wyatts, and things like that. But now they have more talent, well, they did before the brand split. They had the Ascension. They had the Vaudevillains, who are still, I love the Vaudevillains gimmick, and they just completely killed them. Now you got the Alphas on there, but they didn't come out to after the brand split. So the Raw is kind of dead. But even then on SmackDown, they brought in new belts, and they're at least trying. They're at least trying to establish some type of tag team with their stuff. Like we always see their tag teams in action, whether it's the tag team champions or just the regular tag teams themselves. So everybody gets the time to shine on SmackDown with their tag team division and its new belts. So I can't really be too bad about that either. But it's still, those are new belts. So hopefully they're not, well, look at the women's title on Raw. So I'm vindicated in thinking, damn, it could be worse with those belts. And then we move on to the new SmackDown women's belt, who, can't complain about that either, because 6-pack challenge, all that stuff they did to get there. And they could have messed up. Hold on. They could have really messed up there. But I don't know. when that little couple of weeks or month where Becky needed surgery, they could have took the belt off her like they did with Charlotte or Sasha. They could have did one of those angles. They take the belt. She's hurt, so we're gonna take the belt off her because we don't know what you're gonna get back. But no, they played the storyline out nice and calmly. They waited. They gave Alexa a couple of good matches to get her, well, to keep her momentum going with Naomi and things like that. So she had some good matches. And let's talk about I talked about the tag team. How about the women's division? They have the absolute best group of women that they've had ever. I don't care what you say. You can talk about, oh, what about Trish and them? Look at this. Listen to this. Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, Emma. Emma's great. I don't care what you say. Becky Lynch, Naomi, Nikki's coming to her own, Natalya. Who else is on that roster that's really, really good? Did I say Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss? And that's 11. And I haven't even touched on the NXT women yet. They have the best group of women they have there. But yet, they can't get it right. I don't get it. SmackDown is good. NXT is rebuilding. But on Raw, where's Emma? Emma's supposed to be showing up next week. And then I just heard Solomonster or JD. They just said, why don't they do a swerve? And you remember all that when what was his name before he was Tyrus? The Funkasaurus. You know what I'm trying to say. Brodus Clay. All those weeks we thought he was gonna be a monster. And then he just go, somebody call my mama. He came out like that. So I'm really hoping they do that where they're showing like, Emma is really, really beautiful. Look at Emma. Because Emma's hot. Emma's hot. And hopefully she still comes back as evil Emma. Like, or maybe she comes back as like bitchy Emma. Like, she could be the new Michelle McCool. Like, that's one thing I liked about Emma. When Emma and Dana Brooke together, they reminded me of like a new version of Layla and Michelle McCool. You know what I'm saying? But no. Emma got hurt. They split them up. Put Dana Brooke with Charlotte. Yada, yada, yada. But to get back on, I got distracted by that phone call, so I'll end up rambling. But to bring things full circle, you have, the SmackDown women are trying. And I just believe with the group of women they have as a whole, the women's division should be so much better. And I hope in this tournament, they let the women on both brands compete. It needs to be like a 32 women tournament and just bring in some new girls, the NXT girls, the Raw girl, and the SmackDown girl, and let them go. And then we move on to our big belts. I'm not gonna talk about the Cruiserweight belt. I already talked about that and the whole transition with the 3 champions. If you just look at the story between TJ Perkins to Brian Kendricks to now where's Swan, it makes sense and I can deal with that. And what I mean by that is the big moment for Kendricks. The TJ Perkins won the CWC, which was a big moment for him in his life. Then Brian Kendricks won because he just thought he was going to have a job because of all his shenanigans and his age and things like that, and his tribulations and things like that. So he won the belt, and I can deal with that. And then you got Rich Swann, who also won the belt on the inaugural show, and he has an emotional story. So it all built up, and I can deal with it. It all makes sense for what it was. And then we got the Universal title, the Red Velvet Cake Championship, what I like to call it. And Finn got hurt. Then the stuff with Triple H happened in the Fatal 4-Way. And Kevin Owens is the champion now. And I'm happy Kevin Owens is the champion because I don't think if Finn got hurt, he will be champion right now. I think Finn will still be champion. But I don't know. The Universal title seems like the second or third biggest plot point on Raw. And then you got the WWE title, which how can you complain that AJ Styles has the belt? Other than the fact with all this James Ellsworth stuff being filler until like they have some big storyline. They're kind of lacking on the star power on SmackDown. So Undertaker versus AJ Styles for the world title might be a thing at Royal Rumble. And I'm one of the people who thinks if it is Taker Styles at the Rumble, Taker has to win and Taker has to lose to Cena at WrestleMania. I'm one of those people. It's logical. Or even if AJ Styles does get that win over the Undertaker, which I think he needs, well, he doesn't need, but it'll be just a big notch on his belt. Whoever goes into WrestleMania is facing John Cena for the title. And I think John Cena is one of the top contenders to win the Rumble, to be honest. I know it's cliche and things like that, but he's one of the top contenders to win the Rumble. But I think we've covered all the belts, and I just feel like out of everything I just mentioned, if you look at Asuka's run, she's been protected. I won't say protected, but she's killed everybody. She hasn't lost. She's undefeated, and she's had that belt for all year. So how can you go wrong with, like, let's look at it. She defends it. Like, it's not the fact that the only thing Asuka's missing is a Paul Heyman as mouthpiece. I would just give her Paul Heyman. Bring her up to the main roster. Give her Paul Heyman. And she can be like, quote unquote, first Paul Heyman girl, or yada, yada, yada. And just or even bring back Vicky. Somebody who can put Asuka over. Because, you know, her English is normal for somebody who is not a second language. So it's fun when Asuka just says like 2 or 3 words. Like, nobody is ready for Asuka. You know what I'm saying? I will kill you. You know, you're not ready. I just love the little bits. I love the little bits that Asuka gives. But just imagine like somebody with Paul Heyman type skills managing Asuka to help her get to that next level. But I've rambled on long enough. What do you think? Who do you think is the most valuable or valued champion / superstar in the WWE? And I know a lot of people are going to say Roman Reigns. Look at how they're protecting Roman Reigns. I'm not counting Roman. I just like, it's something about these belts and their value. It's just I know they're all props to begin with, but I don't know. I just feel like that NXT Women's title is the most like at this moment. The NXT Women's title is the most prestigious title under the WWE umbrella. There's only been like 5 or 6 champions, and there hasn't been a double champion yet. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it's Paige, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and now Asuka. 5. I may be missing one, but when I started off, Charlotte was the champion. Charlotte was the champion, I think. Because when I started watching NXT, Paige was already coming up. Okay, so Paige was the champion, so whatever. So Paige was the champion because she had the butterfly belt, and I actually like the butterfly belt. I don't like what it represented, but I actually like the design of the butterfly belt. Sue me. Anyways, all that being said, I just feel like the NXT Women's title is the most value protected title under the WWE umbrella right now, just because of the matches, quality, and things like that has been surrounded by that, and you have all the shenanigans surrounding everything else. Except, I mean, you can say the NXT title and the tag team titles down there are protected as well, but I'm just saying, maybe the whole NXT brand is just protected. But anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. What do you guys feel like is the most protected belt? And I wasn't trying to compare the NXT belts to each other. I'm just trying to compare, I don't know, it's just the champions on SmackDown and Raw can be interchanged and nobody will really care because there's no real value or emotions in that. Just imagine how good Charlotte versus Tasha in the Iron Woman match would be if there was more story build up behind it. Like, say like if, like I was saying, if Charlotte was just a 2-time champion because of, you know, the logic, it would make logic. Charlotte gets the belt WrestleMania. For the brand split of Raw, you want to have a good like pop moment. I can understand that. So give Sasha Banks the belt. And then a couple of weeks later, at whatever pay-per-view was after that, because it was SummerSlam, and then it was whatever pay-per-view they did after that, give the belt back to Sasha. No, give the belt back to Charlotte. And then have them feuding up until this point where every time Sasha gets a chance, it doesn't go out the way that she, you know, planned on it. And then it ends in this match, Iron Woman for the belt. And then Sasha would have won this match because she lost her first Iron Woman match with Bayley. So if she wins this match, it's just more setup there. It's just so much more setup than what they've been doing. So I'm done talking. It's been 20 minutes. All the links down below. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Share this out with your friends. Leave your thoughts on what I've been talking about down below. People leave me alone. Facebook, share this video out with your friends. Like if you have not already. And subscribe if you're new here. And also make sure you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified on everything. Leave me alone. With all that being said, I am Shawn DaGamer, and I am out of here.